Okay, so welcome to Know Your Numbers. We're going to go over everything with Keller Williams tools that you have access to, different fun things through KW Connect, and we'll kind of touch into Command a little bit. So before we get started, does anybody have any questions right off the bat, or something you want to make sure we get covered today? No? Okay. So as we go through, please interrupt me, ask questions. I kind of talk fast, so if I need to slow down, just tell me to slow down. So that's perfect. Okay. So the first thing is, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. I can't tell you how many agents that Travis talks to in the industry or here at Keller Williams that they really don't know where they're at in terms of their numbers. So how we like to measure it here at Keller Williams is by units. Some agents measure only volume, but we like to focus on units because we know when you focus on units, the volume will follow. So that's the biggest thing that we can stress to you guys. Because one large volume will bring a nice commission check in, but then where's your next business coming from? So that's what we like to focus on. So the next thing we'll go over is the Career Growth Initiative. So this was started back in 2014 by John Davis, who was our former CEO and president of Keller Williams. And basically it was, how do we get our agents in production quicker, and what tools do they need to streamline their business so they have more time to focus on their clients. And so they come up with this little pipeline of all these different tools, and you can access all of these through your KW Connect. So if you don't know how to go to KW Connect, it's just kwconnect.com, and this is the home screen. It's full of command videos that we'll get into a little bit more of, but when you scroll at the top, you see this growth. If you click Career Growth Initiative, it will pop all of the tools that we've talked about. Have any of you set your goals yet for this year? No? Okay, you have, David? Okay, perfect. So you can either set them through KW Connect, or you can also set them through Kelly. Do all of you have Kelly downloaded on your phone? You have it, David? Christina, do you have it? So if you go to the App Store, it's called Kelly. It's K-E-L-L-E. It's a little blue app that has the KW logo. And once you download it, this is basically transforming into your personal assistant. And when KW Command gets fully functional, you'll be able to type stuff into your Kelly that will talk to KW Command, and that will also talk to your KW Realty app that you share with your clients as well. So it's an all-in-one system. So if you download that, you can just type in your goals or set my CGI goals, and it will pop up and you can set them in. It's really cool. So when you go through goal setting, once you have your goal set, this gives you a snapshot of where you're at. So I think I set mine for, if I was wanting to make $100,000 a year in real estate, this is what it would look like. And it breaks it down. So it tells me my gross commission income I need to bring in every month is $15,238. So what does that mean in closings? So with our average sales price of $4,500, it broke it down to I need 4 closings a month to hit that GCI goal. And then out of those, I need to take 3 listings. And out of that, I need to have 3 listing appointments. So you can do listing and buyers. The reason they focus heavily on listings is because listings provide leverage. You can read it right out of the MREA that listings provide more buyers. It stamp sign calls, marketing, all of that. And it's less time you use with buyers as you go into showing homes. So that's why they say listings are everything. So when I'm using Kelly, if I wanted to go in and say add 1 appointment, then it would add an appointment to my goal. So right now I can click appointment and it will say I'm 33% to my goal. So you can track it that way. And like I said, just right through your Kelly as well, it will talk to each other. You can use it that way. So then as you can see, obviously I didn't do anything in March, which of course I don't produce, but it will tell me where I'm at. Right now it's not in real time, but as we move over to more of a cloud-based system, these numbers will start updating in real time. So that will be really cool to see where you're at. And I'll also tell you how much company dollar you paid in and how close you are to capping. So that will be a really great visual to see. And then if you wanted to look at the full CGI calculator, your Career Growth Initiative calculator, this is what it would look like. And it would tell you all of your statistics for that. So, and Christina, if you want to set your goals after keywords, I can definitely help you do that so you can kind of have a visual. So also within KW Connect is our 4 conversations. So this is just what we talked about for an agent is how many listing appointments did you go on, how many listings did you take, how many closings did you have, and what profit did you make. So the biggest thing is if you're not making your profit goal, then you can work your way backwards. Well, am I having the correct amount of closings I need to have to hit my income goal? Okay, no, I'm not. So am I taking enough listings for that goal? No. Well, am I going on enough appointments? And normally when you're not hitting your goals, it always stems back to what appointments you're hitting every month. Because that is a leading indicator. The more appointments you go on should bring in more business as you go forward. So this is a nice little diagram we like to show agents, and then as we set your goals, you can use that. So what are the tools available to me for my business? So within each of these, in this little diagram that I've kind of already showed you, there is a video and a tool for every one. So as you scroll down, you can see the YouTube video for listing management. And if you need to access the CGI calculator, which we just kind of looked at. If you want to look at a monthly tracking for how many listings you're taking, there's a tool for that. The next one is the pipeline tool. The pipeline tool is something that you definitely need to have in your business right now. So this is what a pipeline tool would be. It's a little large. So when you download it, it will come in this format, in Excel format. So as you go on an appointment, you can put the appointment date, the address, the name of the client, the contact information, what their next steps are, and any notes and a rating. So their notes could be, what is their big why? What is their motivation for listing their house? Are the kids about to start school and they're wanting to upgrade? Are they wanting to downsize? And that will be a great reference point you can always look into. The rating is simply just letting you know, so you can rate it in order of importance of, are they wanting to list this month? Are they wanting to list next month? And so over here, they have a tool, a guide of what rating and what it means. So you can assign those to each of your clients. And after you get a multiples in, you can just hit run sort rating and it will order them from 10 all the way down to 5 or 1, however low you go. And at the bottom of the Excel spreadsheet, there's actually one for buyers. So this should be a great snapshot of what business you're going to have coming through in the next 30, 60, 90 days. Now, if your pipeline is looking small, then that means you need to start lead generating for more appointments and what you can do for that. So then you can separate listing and buyers, so you have those kind of separate. But this is a great tool, just to snapshot of where you're at. The next tool available to you is a trend report. So as a market center, we have our own multi-year trend report that shows us month over month and year over year how our business is growing or declining. So this is, for instance, so just like a market center, the agent has their own trend report. So as you can see, this specific agent, back in September of 2018, it shows every closed unit, every listing taken that they've had every month and since 2014. And then it goes a month over month percentage change and a year over year percentage change, so you can see where you're tracking. So as we get into the busier season, some agents are like, man, I am just so busy. I have no time to do anything else. Something's going on. We like to reference back to your multi-year trend and say, okay, what did you do last year at this time? Is it above or is it below? And if it's below, then what activities are you doing that you don't need to keep doing? Are you doing more dollar producing activities like lead generation? Or are you doing the runaround chores that you potentially hire an admin for to help you provide leverage? So this is a great talking point when we're talking to our agents and they're saying, I don't even know where to begin. And so this is a great reference for it. So through that, how do you access this? So everyone has a MyKW profile. So if you go to mykw.kw.com, this is what it looks like. And here's a dashboard leading you into your Edge account. You have resources such as the wellness program we have, policy and guideline manuals for KWRI, all of that. But if you hit your reports right here, right below your profile picture, if the internet loads, under reports. Now, I may have more options than you, so if you have less options, don't freak out. But under reports, if you click on associate, you can click your multi-year trend. And so if I was pulling my multi-year trend, this is what the report would generate. And so this is how I can reference it every time. Obviously, I'll have a lot of blanks and zeros, but it will start ever since I track. So you can see I've put in some CGI appointments, haven't closed a unit, haven't done any of that, but here's my own report. So you can access your own that way through your MyKW. the next one is language of real estate, agent language of real estate. So again, like a market center, we have a market center language of real estate. And this report compares how the board is doing and how Keller Williams is doing. And if we are outpacing the board or if the board is outpacing us. So I get this report every month and I take it and I convert it into from an Excel spreadsheet to this nice pretty little handout, and it looks something like this. So this report was done from year to date for the year 2018. So at the end of December, this is our numbers. So the first column is our 8 metrics that we always use. So it's closed units, closed sales volume, listings taken volume, listings sold volume, contracts written volume. Again, we're focusing more on the listings so we can see what our business is going to look like. We have more control. So the second column is the difference for the board. So Keller Williams numbers is included into the board numbers as well, but I also then put our numbers from our multi-year trends right beside it and I compare. So we can see, so for the year of December 2018, for the closed units for the board was up 1%. Keller Williams was up 4% over the year, meaning we outpaced the board by 3%. So whenever you're going on a listing appointment or a buyer's consultation and you say, why choose Keller Williams? You can show them these kind of statistics and say, this is what our market center is doing and this is the training we provide in order to help us take more listings, or how to negotiate contracts and get units closed. So I actually completed our year to date for this month this morning, and so I brought these for you so you can have as a reference to kind of see where we're at. Yeah, of course. And so, as you look at this report, you can see we are leading in every category except for contracts written volume, which, of course, we want to be leading in every category, but if it's in volume, we know we can crush it because in contracts written as a whole, we're up 4%. So when we look at these numbers, anywhere between 1 and 5%, we feel is still kind of average. It's just that market shift right there. Anything that's above 5 to 6%, we really look at and say, wow, we dominated that. So in closed units, we are up by 8%. So something that we're doing to get those closings going through is working. Listings taken, we are up 12%. So the board as a whole is down 4%. We are up 8%, therefore outpacing the board by 12%. That's a huge number. So something our agents are doing, whether it's going out and lead generating more, lead generating for listings, is what we really want to focus on. So this is a great report that you can always show your clients. I update this every month, and what I do is I upload it to my KW Connect profile. So when you're in KW Connect, if you search for me, let's see, if you search, let's see. Well, if I can spell my name right, that would help. No. So if I search my name and I go to users, my profile will pop up. And on your screen, you can just click follow and you'll follow me. So every time I upload a document, you'll get a notification in your email inbox that says Rachel Lutz has uploaded a new file. And you can go directly and you can see what I've uploaded. So if I go to my profile and I look at all my uploads, you can see that every month, let's see. If I go to my uploads, so I've uploaded the April's, we started off with last year's lore, January. I also included the new MREA2 compensation model, which is kind of a big deal with the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book coming out with version number 2. It's the new model coming out as well with the show. So just different fun uploads that I like. I know if you're in the productivity coaching program, Lexi encourages you to follow her. That's where she uploads some of these videos at, especially for our dual career agents. You can also search, if you meet agents from within Keller Williams around the world, you can actually search for them and follow them. So right away, a couple people I recommend to follow is one is Gary Keller. So you can't go wrong with following Gary Keller because if he's uploading all of these, I know he is uploading different documents that, so I can click follow, pulls me to his, and I can click on his uploads, and it'll show me everything that he's uploaded. So why a mega agent left for EXP and is now back at Keller Williams? What is coming out with technology? keynote slides from Family Reunion that you can review again. And the other person I recommend following is Josh Teague. So he is now our president of Keller Williams, and he was kind of the driver of all of our technology that's about to come out. And so he alone will have so many knowledgeable videos and uploads that you can always look at. So, and then if you're meeting top agents within Keller Williams, I recommend that. I follow all of some of the top MCAs. So I know what they're doing in the market centers and how I can mirror that in our market center. Okay. So if I go back to the presentation. So we talked about the market center language of real estate. You can actually create your own flyer. So right here, again, they have another tool that you can download for your language of real estate. So what that looks like is a flyer that you can put your picture, your contact information, and if you're door knocking, you can go out and share that with your clients. You can also use this information, the market center information, to put on there if you're a newer agent and you don't have your own statistics. So that is my flyer. For a little expert. So with your local expert tool, if you download this tool, put it up.
You can be able to show us what your flyer, your door knocker flyer looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a door knocking flyer, but I can definitely tell you who to talk to about door knocking. But this is, let's see, if it is your business. So within this, here's a listing presentation and a listing presentation flyer that they already have customized with Keller Williams information that you just have to go and put in your picture and contact. So this is a great one to pass out when you're door knocking. All you have to do is put your picture, your name, your contact information. And it says the proof is in the numbers. And it says, so if we were talking about April, we could say year to date, April 2019. The number of contracts I've written outpace the market by a certain percentage. Now, if you don't have that information, you can use the market center. So you could say, the number of contracts Keller Williams has written outpace the market by a certain percentage. And that's a great flyer, just the kind of information you can pass out. And again, so if you're on so through KW Connect, and you go to Career Growth Initiative, right here at the very top, and you scroll down, it's called Local Expert, and you download that, and when I opened it, let's see, yeah, when I opened it, it gave me all this information. So how to use the guide, there's a market report flyer if you wanted to do with your specific business, or if you want to use the market center, all available for it too.
The flyer, do you have the postcard size?
The postcard size? I don't know if they have a postcard size, but I would recommend maybe using, kind of mimic it. You could probably do it out of Canva, which is a free, like, designable tool that's really easy to use. Canva, C-A-N-V-A. Yeah, it's like Canvas, but without the S. So we, at the market center level, use Canva a lot for all of our advertisements or events. And so this is a free software. It's super friendly to use. And it's great if you're ever wanting to host an event or any sort of flyers you want to send out and design it that way. Yeah, great questions. Okay, so that's just kind of a little bit of an overview of the tools. And so if you ever have any questions on where you can find some of this stuff, please let me know and I can help you find it again. So the next thing I'd really like to show within KW Connect is KW Connect is Keller Williams Intranet. So all Keller Williams agents love to contribute, whether it be listing presentations, scripts, buyers presentations, you can all find it in here. Now, sometimes it's not the easiest to search for, so I would recommend using one word at a time, because if you get lengthier, it's hard to pick out. But what I always like to do is type in scripts. So when I first started, I was helping new agents with script practice, and we used Ignite scripts, and we had bold scripts, but there's actually a script book on KW Connect for you to download for free. So if you type in scripts at the top, there's 3 volumes that you can download. It's about 340 pages full of scripts, and they're in different sections. So volume number 3 is lead generation, volume 2 is working with sellers, and volume 1 is working with buyers. flyers. So how you download it is you just go to course materials. You'll click on materials here at the top. Maybe. Well, let's see if we can reload that. I'm sorry. Why is it not working? Okay. So if I click on lead generation, it says purchase course materials that you can. Okay, so there we go. So here's the script. So if I click on this, it will download this whole file for me. It has like a page full of spine, front cover, printing instructions. So here I'm looking for the manual. And so here comes all of the pages for lead generation. So if I'm buyer leads for marketing, if it's a buyer's presentation working with buyers, has all of them on here. And so as you scroll through, since this is lead generation focus, it will tell you how different scripts for cold calling, door to door, expired listings, FSBOs, general objections, if you're farming, if it's new home builders. And as you go through, you can just see there's pages and pages of scripts. And so you can download this for free, print it off downstairs, it's black and white, you won't get charged for it. Ask Renee to bind it for you for $1, and then here's your own book. And so this is a great way to kind of see how other agents or what Keller Williams has provided for you to kind of use to talk to your clients. Now I recommend making the scripts your own. So it may have a script of what to use, but you need to make sure it sounds natural when it's coming from you. And if there are certain words or verbiage of how you would say things, then just customize it and make it your own. But there's 3 different volumes, and so you can go to each one through KW Connect and download each of these for free. That's really cool.
Really ask how the family is when you first cold call, you talk to them for 3 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
That's really
there's some scripts in
pushing
there that I'm like, yeah, I probably never use this. But then there are some in there that I'm like, wow, you could really use this in this time. So it's just kind of going through and picking and choosing what's best for you.
what works for you.
Yeah, and within lead generation, there's 5 different levers that we recommend agents to kind of explore to see what really works for them. Now, out of the 5, I recommend picking 2 and being really great at them. You don't have to be great at all 5, but it's open houses, for sale by owners. You can do cold calling, you can do farming, which is picking an area and just really focusing on that. And then there's your sphere of working with people you directly know. So if someone doesn't have a large sphere, then maybe I should start growing my sphere by open houses. I personally would not enjoy cold calling. I don't just like shooting it. I'm just not good at that. So open houses is where I would thrive. So if that was my choice of lead generation, I would make sure I had an open house 2 or 3 days a week, just making sure. So you could do Saturday, you could do Sunday. I've seen some people do brunch open houses, like if it's by a school area where there's a lot of traffic, so just kind of pick what works best for you.
So you have to know agents to be able to just put it out there and available. How do
Yeah,
you
so
open house?
yeah, so a lot of our top teams have so many open houses that they can't handle all of them. So what they'll do is they'll post them on our Facebook, that's an internal page. So once you join, we'll add you to that internal page and they'll say, okay, Grady open house opportunities, and they'll list the addresses. And you can go and say, I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4 Main Street. And normally they let you pick the time that you want to hold it. Sometimes it's 2 to 4, sometimes people like 1 to 3. And then they'll say, okay, great, that's yours. And they'll let you know if there's any special requirements or anything like that. But I would say there's never a shortage of open houses that you can hold or you can suggest. If that's ever the case, then you can just let one of us know. I'm sure we'll find an agent for you.
You guys have an app?
An app for that?
Maybe for open house or anything?
Yeah, no.
Because you get people signing in, it's kind of cool, it automatically gets listed.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I've never heard of that.
KB4 has open house, so when people walk in, hi.
Oh, so like if
people
I
have
was hitting your
apps,
open house, yeah, some people have like
open house apps, that they sign in.
yes,
get
so
their names and
some
that.
agents have like I've seen Chris Day, who's had an open house class. He actually has an iPad stand where his guests can come in and sign in, just because a lot of the sellers want to use houses. But yeah, you could totally do
It's
that.
a good way to get 25 names.
Yeah, exactly. So once you tell a team that you want to take over the open house, you're free to do whatever you want. The main goal of them hosting is that they know they don't have enough people that they can host all these open houses. And if someone brings in a buyer and they get their listing sold, great. But they get, they get it sold and you get a buyer. Now, and anybody that comes in that is not represented by an agent and they want to work with you, definitely you can pick them up. The beauty of it. So a lot of other brokerages, you're not allowed to host other agents' open houses. I know I've heard from a couple, but here we don't care. We just want to get sold. So yeah, great question. So also through KW Connect, I'm sure you've heard all of this great technology that's coming out. So under this technology tab, you can click here and you can find videos and a guide of what is coming out and when to expect it. So we have a couple of different websites that's great resources that you can show anybody. So this is technology.kw.com, and it says kind of the vision and where Keller Williams has transformed. So it gives a nice little roadmap of when we started in 1983 to then how we started Profit Share. Then we opened the Agent Leadership Council, which is our top agents in the Market Center who are our board of advisors. What we do as teams, because teams was never a big thing until Keller Williams came out with the model of what a team is and what that structure looks like. Now we have expansion going on, and the next thing is all of the technology to become a tech-enabled agent. So this is a great website just to show anybody, just to kind of explain a little bit more. I know it's hard for us at times to share that vision, and so they created this so it's easier for us. And I'm so sorry, I'm in your way. Just okay.
You're good.
Okay. So with that, you have your KW Realty app. So whenever you became an agent, you have a personally branded app to work with. Have you downloaded it yet?
Sure.
The Keller Williams Realty app?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so on the bottom of that, that has your contact information that you're able to share with any of your clients. And so anytime, say they've got a new phone and they download that, your information will still be on there. They can share it through Facebook, email, text. I think they're the main three. But here in a couple months, that app is going to get a makeover. Have you guys seen the video for the new app that's going to look like it? Okay, perfect. I'd love to hear that. Let me see. So with the integration of this new app, it's going to be able to sync to Keller Williams Command. It's going to sync to your Kelly, and then this app is a way for your clients to communicate with you. Okay. So.
Keep saying Kelly is a phone app.
Yes.
I don't see, this is Kelly. I see Keller Williams.
that's what the app that you're sharing with your clients will look like here in a couple months. I believe they said end of June is when to expect that rollout. So one of the coolest things about that is when you're watching your Netflix, my Netflix is going to look different than your Netflix. And when I click on a show, it's going to say, well, this show is a 98% match, and maybe you should watch it. Or this show is a 50% match, and maybe it's not something that you'd be interested in. That's exactly what the app is going to turn like for the consumer. So as the consumers are using the app and looking more towards white kitchens or a backyard or whatever their dream is, it's going to pull houses that are on MLS and feed through and say, this is a match, percentage match quote that you would like. So that's really going to be awesome. And it helps eliminate a lot of the time it needs to be for those houses for your clients. So if you haven't yet, I would recommend as much as you can get it in the hands of all of your clients, because it's really hard, say, if I just shared this app with Luke and then Luke wanted to download Lexi's app, it's really hard to change the agent through it, just because of the program it's with, and I'm not really sure it's all with KWRI, but we have known through personal instances, someone has left the team and wanted to change it to their own app, it's taken a really long time to change. So why not get this in the hands of as many clients as possible, so whenever this does change and they want to have this app, you're already there and you're their resource. So it's a great way to post on Facebook or just kind of call your sphere, just ask if they know about the app. And
So if people was already downloading your app, send apps now.
Yeah.
Just update it.
Yes, it will just be an update overnight, so they won't have to re-download it. And the thing is, once you download the app, if they create a profile, there's two things. You can download it, but you never have to create a profile, but if you do, that allows you now to see if they're saving homes, and that will work. If they have the app now and they didn't create a profile, if they're saving houses, you're not going to get those updates. So it's kind of a two-step process you can do. But that way, if they're ever looking through open houses, or if they're searching on there and you see any house they like and you save it, you automatically do a text and an email saying, so-and-so just saved this house, and that's a direct call you can do. And so that's just kind of a bit of where we're at now, and then moving forward, it's just going to be so much more. So, great question. Okay. Let's see where we're at with this. More language of the done your local expert. Okay, so on the lines of technology, so as we come out, they have different videos that they are posting. They actually have a lot of live, Connect Live schedule. So if you click this, it will tell you where they're going to have live videos coming up in the dates and the times. So if you've never been into Command, I would start with Command step-by-step instructions. Watch what that was this morning. Never mind. But within it, so if you want to build your agent-to-agent referral network, how do you do that? Here's a video of that was today too. Okay, great. Let me just keep going down. So an overview setup, contacts, overview setup and import of Command contacts import template. So if you want to watch a live video for that, you can just click on it. It will pop up with all the information, and all you have to do is export to your Google Calendar, and it will add it right there for you in instructions. So what I really love about these live streams is that you're able to ask them questions throughout the video or throughout the training, and they'll be able to answer them at the end. If you miss a live stream though, and you were like, man, I really want to catch it, it's still recorded, you still have the opportunity to see it. If you go to the home page, you see latest in tech. Here's all of the latest in labs of what is about to come out, and then all of them are listed here at the bottom through Command. So it's a great resource if you're ever looking to see, okay, what can I do next? They actually have a Command 66-day challenge that we're participating in as an executive team, just to make sure that we're able to answer the questions when agents come to us. So if you go. Again, it's very, oh, there we go. So here is Keller Williams Command 66-day challenge videos separated by subject matter. So there's videos for each of them of how to do the 66-day challenge. That may be something you want to start doing for your business as well. So now let's get into Command. So this is Command. If you go to agent.kw.com and you log in using your KW information, this is what your home screen will look like. So right now, these are all the options that are available, and at the bottom it lists all the options that are coming soon. So eventually you'll be able to keep track of your calendar and use it here. We have contacts, we have opportunities, which is from the beginning of a nurture lead all the way to a closing. We have groups, which will eventually replace our internal Facebook page. So you can create groups even with your clients through KW command. And this may be a way to talk about upcoming events, or if you have anything that you're wanting to share with them, this may be a better way than Facebook. So here's all the groups that I'm in. So I can just click on one to say we have a Greater Springfield one, there's not any posts in it, but it's saying this is what, oh, I guess there is a couple posts in there from agents. I'm also in a couple of MCA or lab specific. I'm actually also in a Ignite Instructors Mastermind. So they're changing Ignite, and so here's the mastermind group that we're able to go and talk about where we want to see Ignite go for KW. So you can create your own groups if you want. This is an option for you. So we also have your referral network. We have Sketchhouse, which is going to integrate Canva in Sketchhouse, and so you can create your own designs, your own postcards right through Command and send them out. We have Smart Plans, which is like an 8x8 plan that you can send to all of your clients, or 12x12, so one postcard or one touch to them a month.
Do you have your own places that you postcards out?
Yeah.
Or
So if you go,
sometimes it's a little cheaper when you do it in-house than
yeah, so
this would print.
so Lead Accelerator, so it's going to ask me to create a campaign. So let me, okay, so I'm going to create a new campaign, and it's going to ask me what campaign I'm wanting to go with. So I can either do a Facebook ad, Instagram, Twitter, Google AdWords. So if you use real mailers, this is where you can send your postcard. So it's going to ask me, what is my goal of this marketing campaign? Is it to have an event awareness, brand awareness, advertise a listing, attract listing? I'm going to say I'm going to advertise my listing that I just currently took, and I'm going to configure the campaign. Say 1, 4. So I'll just say that's what I'm calling it. I'm going to configure the campaign with my goal to track listings. And I can create or select different default templates that you can use, or you can create your own. Or some market centers are going to start creating their own, and they're going to sell them through here. So if you have some really great ones, you're going to have the opportunity to sell them to other agents' business. So if I wanted to create a campaign and I want to do this modern template, I'm going to say select. I'm going to enter the address, the list price. Say it's 500,000. Let's do that. And I'm going to label it, is it empty? Is it just listed, just sold, coming soon? So I'm going to say just listed. Then I'm going to put my agent details on there. Company details, so we'll put Keller Williams Greater Springfield. And I'll fill all this in. And then I'll be able to create and customize my own campaign. It's going to require me to do all this. But through this, I can then select if there's a certain area I want the postcard to be going to, or if I wanted to go to my contact, my database within Command, I get to choose. And then I can purchase and mail it out through Command. And it will be printed and sent off for us. So it says right here, it's 89 cents for a standard, or $1.20 for first class. So that's your options through there.
Per email.
Per postcard being sent out,
$1.
if it's standard. 89, or excuse me, for first class, 89 cents for standard. So it just depends on what works best for you. But then you can schedule when you want to send them, and then it will give you, and if you have to reuse them again, there's past.
Is that pretty compatible with comparable with price of 89 cents to $1.20 a postcard?
Well,
You can spend $1,000 on a neighborhood pretty easily.
exactly. It just depends. I'm not sure what Vistaprint or other companies, I know there's Michael Lewis, who we have a contract with, that you can also do that through them. I think the pricing is pretty comparable through them as well, but you can always double check that and pull it out. That's another option for you to compare prices. And I'm not sure, I know.
When we always talk about money, it's
Yeah, no,
not a big deal.
No,
You know, when you're starting out and everybody's throwing numbers out here, spend $8,000 on TV and have to spend this, coaching everywhere, you know, you're spending $500 to $1,000 a month, and you can go right downhill.
oh, exactly. We have used Vistaprint before for other print and marketing materials. You can actually send postcards down at the front desk with Renee. Just give them to her. We charge 50 cents, depending on, we'll weigh it, but that's normally what a standard letter is 50 cents. And we can mail those out for you as well. So I'm not sure if the 89 cents is also included for production and creation of it. So I'm not sure what your Vistaprint costs and us mailing it out, how that would compare. Or you could print it color downstairs for 15 cents a postcard or whatever, a copy. So yeah, you just have to do a little bit of research, but in my mind, and again, I totally agree with you, cost can rise. If I'm sending it to a smaller select, maybe it's just more beneficial to go through there. So they're sending it out, they're doing all of that. Or I could do it from Vistaprint, Michael Lewis, and then mail it out myself, whatever you prefer. Yeah, those are great questions.
Just as new agents, we're always trying to figure this out. How do you get these? We can talk about all these things all day long.
Yeah.
But it all gets down to lead generation.
Yep, it does. And
when you're new, oh, you want to do this and that. How do I do this? You know, I've knocked on a lot of doors myself, and I haven't seen much response. And so that's a lot of work.
So someone I would recommend for door knocking, his name is Kevin Wages. He's on Evan Deschamps' team. He started off as an independent agent and then eventually moved to their team. He is a door knocking expert. I mean, he'll go out and knock 125 doors a day. And that's what he loves to do. And he has great return from them. So I would definitely, if you're interested in door knocking and what, he has a class here that he teaches, but just talking to him, he has great insight for that. But no, I agree. It's hard. It's all these things are coming at you.
50 houses, and my knee is
yeah.
I'm an older guy, so you know, 50 houses is quite the strain up and down driveways. Walk back to your car, it's a little tough.
Yeah. So, in your opinion, what are your best 2 forms of lead generation that you would use?
I am an open house guy.
Yeah.
I talk to people and shake their hand, looking right in the eyes. How can I help you?
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, that works for me, but I've got bandit stuff all over the place, you know, with my name and number on it, just to see if somebody will call. I've tried different things, but the reason I'm coming here is I don't got to figure it out after 8 months. I don't have to figure it out, you know, and that's sad because, you know, I'm going to start before I even get going.
Yeah. For open houses, we do have some classes, but Brandy Massey is one of our top instructors for open houses. She has great input. If you're wanting to add more technology to it, Chris Day, who's also our tech ambassador, he's a great resource to talk to. But the biggest thing I could say is just walking through the halls, introducing yourself to some of the agents, and let them know that you're a new agent. If there's something specific you're looking for, here at Keller Williams, no, there's not a secret sauce. It's literally lead generation, like you said. You lead generate 3 hours a day, go on appointments, convert them, get closings. That's how you run your business. And any of the agents here could ask, if you ask, they would tell you the same thing. And if you ask for any of their documents, like an open house checklist, they'll be willing to share it with you. That's not a problem. Because at the end of the day, I can tell you all my secrets. I can tell you exactly how I built this huge business. Doesn't mean you're going to follow those to a T. It doesn't mean you'll build them the same way. However, as long as I'm pouring value into you, there may be 1 or 2 things that you take away from that conversation that could really help your business, and that's what everybody's about. So, yeah. So great point. So you're getting pulled in all these different directions, and you're saying, where do I spend money? What do I do? So there is the daily activities log that we have found at KW Connect and made it our own. So this log is when you're using lead generation every day, you're door knocking with your phone, you're calling. Every time you would make a call or you knock a door, you would mark off a number. Then every conversation you had, then you would mark off a number. How many people did you add to your database? So this is a great visual of saying, okay, I can show you that I have called 25 people and I had 5 conversations on them. Of those 5, I've added 2 to my database. So this is a great reference to kind of track your activities every day and see the progress you're making and what your conversion ratios are. If you ask Lexi for it, she's been sharing it with all of it, but it's just the daily activities log.
Okay.
Yeah. And if not, I'll make a note to take that out. But yeah, so we found this on there, and she's been sharing it, especially with all the productivity coaching clients, and so it's really been beneficial for them. And then it goes down even farther to how many appointments you set. If you're doing social media messages, what do those look like? If you're doing open houses, how many appointments have you set? How many do you have? And then notes. And this is the daily accountability sheet for you. So we've kind of talked about Kelly. This is the steps you would go through when you're setting your goals. And then the last thing, again, like we were talking about, is creating a profit and loss statement. So this one I created out of Excel. So if you want, I can easily send it to you. You can customize it however you want. But I break it down every month. And so at the beginning, I'm marking my income. So how much gross commission income have I brought this month? And if there's any other income coming through, then I would mark that. Then I would look at my cost of goods. So how much am I paying into my company dollar cap and how much royalty am I paying? Then I would take, that would be my total income, and then I'm taking my expenses. And so this is definitely where you can customize it the most, of saying, okay, what expenses do I have each month and what are those costing me? Because it's easier to get caught up for the subscriptions. And what I say is a lot of real estate agents have so many subscriptions that they don't even know where to begin where it's at. So what they recommend is just setting up a credit card for a couple months and see what you really need out of it if you don't have access to it. But on there is advertising and marketing, dues and subscriptions. So that could be Keller Williams dues. It could be board dues, gas and mileage. There's an app called Hurdler that you can download for free. And it's a great tool to track your mileage that you have.
Can you spell that for
HURDLR. Yeah, and just tracking your mileage on all of the appointments you're going on. If you have any office supplies, any photography, postage, any other technology you're using, and if you have any utilities. So you can use a simple sheet like this to kind of track and see, okay, where's my money going? Then what am I spending my money on, and is it dollar producing for my business or not? And then any other expenses you have, and then for taxes, how many of you use the same account for your business? Yeah. So what I would recommend doing is I would recommend opening up a separate account. I'd actually recommend opening up 2 accounts. So what I would do is I would, so you have your, whatever, say you're using Argus right now as your personal account. I would have a personal account here. I would potentially, you could do this either 2 options. You could open up a business account here with the same bank. Or you could say you opened one up at Oakstar for your business. And this is going to be your business account. Then the next account I would recommend opening up is at a bank far, far away that it's hard to access, that you have to actually go out of your way to go if you wanted to get. Say we did, I don't know, bank in Mountain Grove, I don't know, it's kind of far away. Kind of exaggerating, but then I would create a tax account. And I would set 30 to 35% out of every closing and put that money into this tax account, into an account that I would never have even the urge to go and take money out of. That, because we've seen a lot of agents, or even especially with their, one, you want to keep your personal and business separate because it makes it easier for tracking. And it's less liability within that account. And what you can do is you can deposit all your commission checks into this business account, and then if you want, you can pay yourself a salary, a monthly salary, to show that this is how you're paying yourself. And so it's all staying in that account. And then keeping this tax account separate, so when you're putting 30 to 35% into this account, it's alone. So you never you don't dip into it. Because you don't want to be at the end of the year when you have to pay in $40,000 in taxes and you just say, oh crap, where's this money coming from? So I would just recommend just kind of separating it out. One, it's easier to track, less liability, and to make sure that you're paying your taxes appropriately. Some people pay their taxes quarterly, pay yearly, whatever you do, especially if you're starting to produce a lot, it's better to pay quarterly. So you're kind of staying in there. So, yeah. I think that's probably about it. I know it's a lot of information I just threw at you, so if you have questions, please let me know. And if you don't know, part of my role is I also help with commission tax, compliance, all of that. So if you guys ever have a question, I'm having a class next Tuesday, Green Sheets of Compliance. If you haven't been to it, I strongly recommend. And that's how you get paid. We know the quickest way that we can make an agent mad is if we don't pay them on time. And so I want to make sure that you guys get paid on time and we're able to pay you on time. And so we'll go over that some more then. But do you guys have any questions? This sheet, I can email it to you. Actually, that's a great idea. Let me upload it. I'll email it to you.
Because I was wondering what kind of Excel sheet I was going to create to track that.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Let me email it to you, but that's a great idea. I'll upload it to my KW Connect profile as well.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know if there's any materials, any questions you guys have. We're here as the executive team. We're always here to help and just kind of answer any questions you have. So.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.